Hi, I'm certified nutritionist Mira Calton.
And I'm Dr. Jason Calton, and welcome to Calton Nutrition Television and this episode of In Depth, where we bring you face-to-face with the leaders, visionaries, and innovators changing the world. And on today's show, we've got another power couple.
So cool.
Yes, it's nice to see husband and wife teams, and this is Larry and Oksana Ostrovsky from Be Well Buzz. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us. Easy for you to say, right?
Yeah. I don't have such a hard time with names. Growing up with a name that was unusual, I should probably take this.
You should probably take that from now on, yeah.
So
Well, thank you for having us
today.
Yeah, so let's introduce everybody. Let's tell us a little bit about your story and how you got started with the Sleep Well solution.
Sure. Well, my journey started about 6-7 years ago. I've always been into health and personal development and just bettering myself, and I stumbled across a guru who shifted my paradigm and how I saw nutrition and really showed me how I could transform the way that I was being into a higher place. And what I realized was that the foods that I was eating, which is basically a standard American diet, wasn't really focused on nutrition or anything, had a big impact on how I was feeling. I was overweight, had brain fog, I was doing internet marketing and was at a computer all day and had quite a bit of fatigue. And as I was going into this rabbit hole of understanding nutritional paradigms, it really opened me up to bigger things, and it kind of set off a chain reaction into what we're doing now.
Yep.
So I met her about 6 years ago.
Yeah, and he basically took over into bettering me as well along the way, but then I kind of started digging as well, and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much to it. I mean, I didn't grow up in U.S., I had completely different beliefs around the nutrition and food overall, and never really got into like the standard American diet because it just never created, never knew it, and like this is just not for me.
Right.
But learning more about kind of the supplementation part and all the superfood and all the stuff, like all the juices and smoothies that we were integrating in our life, really did change how I was feeling and on a daily basis. So I was like, okay, well, there's something to it. And that's kind of both of us just started, digging deeper and seeing what's out there and then what's true, what's noise, and kind of shifting through all that information and decided to share with people as well what we were learning along the way. So that's kind of how we started with Be Well Buzz. And then with sleep, that's kind of a new project, our latest project that started about maybe a year almost ago.
Yeah.
I was always one of those people that said, like sleep is overrated, there's life to live, like whatever, you'll sleep later, you'll sleep when you die. Yeah, wrong thing to say. When we started researching this whole sleep, I was like, I'm taking this back. This is the #1 priority that everyone should be paying attention to, and getting that enough quality and quantity of sleep on a daily basis in order if you want to live a healthy, happy life.
Exactly.
We're looking. You guys talk about sleep because it's something that really we also think a lot of people really don't talk about, and it's so important. You spend a lot of your lifetime doing it, or you should. So really, what is the importance of sleep? Can you give us some distinct reasons, like what is the importance?
Well, it's the underlying thing to everything, really. And like we're searching for, in this journey that we've come through, there's a ton of noise out there, and it's like, what are those things that give you the biggest impact in health, right? And we started digging into what that is. And yes, some of those components are nutritional, but then we found the one thing that actually is free. You don't have to pay for it, but no one puts any real emphasis on it. And really the memes that are perpetuated is, work, 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 sleep when you die. It's not that important, but in reality, it's underlying to everything. So if you're trying to lose weight, have more energy, think better, think clearer, do more, you need to sleep. And
Right.
why? Because so much happens when you sleep.
Well, during your sleep and also when you are rested or when you're not rested, a lot of things are not happening.
Right.
So it's either way you spin it. If you're not getting that quality sleep at night, you are not going to be operating your 100% full potential during the day.
Yeah.
That's it.
And there's so much that happens during sleep. Your body detoxes, so it gets rid of all those toxins. Your body gets rejuvenated. Your thoughts that happen and things that happen throughout the day when you sleep actually get consolidated. So you actually, the things, if you're trying to solve a problem, science has shown that while you sleep, your brain is actually consolidating those things, and when you wake up, you could have a solution to that problem.
Yeah, I mean, we've experienced that ourselves. And what I love what you're saying right now is that people are spending literally sometimes hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars a month on things that will get them healthier, that, you know, whether there's supplementation or whether it's proper diet or quality food. But the one of the things that they may not be doing that's absolutely free, exactly what you said, is that sleep component. And that's why I think so many people watching right now could be very excited, because this is something you can do that can make a huge difference in your health. It won't cost you a single penny more on a daily basis. And so let's talk about some of those things that happen during sleep only that really helps people to improve their health.
So yeah, so we mentioned a few of those things, and you're exactly right. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what kind of nutritional protocols. I don't care how much exercise you're going through. If you're not sleeping, you're screwed. Period.
Yeah.
Right? So your immune system is boosted. So if you're getting sick a lot, or you're going through whatever it is that you need your immune system to be boosted, sleep.
It's so simple.
It's really so simple.
I'm a napper myself. How does napping, just out of curiosity, how does napping play a role in it?
Yeah.
Obviously it doesn't take the place of sleep, but it can be beneficial as well.
Sure.
Definitely. I mean, you wanna the main goal here is, right, it's not only like, yes, I'm falling asleep, I'm sleeping my 8 hours, but what kind of quality of that sleep you having actually? Is it a deep sleep? Are you spending enough time in your REM sleep? Because that's where a lot of, like, as Larry said, a lot of your memory is getting consolidated, the digestive process happens. Like, there's so much that is going on, and if you're not having that enough of REM sleep, but you can catch that REM sleep during a quick nap in the afternoon, then yes, definitely that is helpful. That is your choice. Definitely do it. That's why I think, kids, sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I was a baby. This is like 2 p.m. I need to take a nap.
I sleep like a baby at night. I have no problem with sleeping, and I also love my nap.
Yeah.
But you don't want to rely on it, though.
Yeah,
you want to get that rejuvenative sleep in those 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours of deep sleep during the nighttime hours.
Of course, we're really big fans of taking naps, but of course we don't want to use a nap as a crutch. So, people watching right now might be asking, how many hours a night should I be sleeping? Should I be getting my 8 hours? I've heard 9 hours. What do you guys think?
That's a really good question. And at the end of the day, it's not, you really want to get 7 to 8 hours of solid sleep, but it's the quality of sleep that we really want to focus in on. So the quality sleep, what I'm talking about is deep sleep and REM sleep. And you want to get a combination of both, because within those states, you're getting those important things that happen to restore the body and the mind, so you wake up refreshed and really ready to take on the day.
Yeah.
So what are some good reasons that people aren't getting enough sleep? Like, what are people doing wrong? What are those triggers that we should all be aware of?
Well, we've discovered 11 of them, and I'll just share a few important ones. One of the main things is your bedroom. If it's not set up for good quality sleep, well, it will be disturbing your sleep. So it has to be only the place for sex or sleep.
Yep,
there's no TV watching, no computer games, no exercise bike somewhere next to the bed. No, you have to literally walk into your bedroom and feel like deep relaxation. It has to, it's kind of like, it's that sacred space.
It's a trigger.
You know what I mean?
It's a trigger that says, hey, all right, I'm walking into this room, and we're doing one of two things.
Yeah.
And both of them are really enjoyable.
Like, I love the bedroom now. This is amazing.
The smile on my face every time I walk in there.
So yeah, it's got to be a trigger. And one of the big things that what happens during sleep is all this restoration happens, and it happens because our body has to follow a circadian rhythm. Right? And when it falls out of that circadian rhythm, which is our body cycle that's attuned to the sun rising and setting, right? So there's certain body functions that happen during that circadian rhythm, and if we fall off of that, it really throws everything off. Yep. Because melatonin gets released at 11 o'clock, right? No, not 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And if it's not released at the right time, then everything gets shifted and thrown off. So we have to maintain that circadian rhythm, and basically we really want to sleep when the sun goes down and rise when the sun comes up. Now that's a bit tricky with our lifestyle and craziness of life, but we want to get as close to that as possible. So ideally going to bed at 10 or 11 o'clock, waking up 6, 7, getting those 8 solid rejuvenative hours of sleep is where we want to be.
Yep. I mean, another important piece is, of course, stress. You know, stress affects us on a daily basis. You can't escape from it, unfortunately, but it's how you react to it, right? Do not let it take over your life. It will destroy you. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. Yeah. And we were talking about earlier, it's like, you know, you're not getting enough sleep, you are going to be more stressful throughout the day. If you are more stressful throughout the day, you're not going to have a good sleep again. Yeah. So it's a vicious cycle that you want to avoid at all costs. Another big thing, sorry?
Oh, so you teach people how to get rid of that stress, other ways to manage that stress so that they can make room for sleep.
It's so important, because if you're not getting enough sleep, you're stressed out. And if you're stressed out,
cortisol is pumping through.
The chemistry in your body really dictates how well you're going to sleep. So if you're not sleeping well, all the chemistry is thrown off. All these things that are supposed to be normal are not. So your brain's not going to be functioning as well as it could be. You're not going to be thinking clearly. You're going to be making poor decisions. You're going to be gaining weight. You're going to be going through life with people getting out of your way.
Yeah, no, people are going to be like, ooh, someone's on edge today.
Right.
You mentioned weight, and just because summer's coming up and we get this question constantly from people, what is something I can do to lose weight? And you're saying that sleep is something we should really consider for weight loss as well.
Sleep is a huge thing.
Well, because it regulates the whole leptin and ghrelin, you know, ratio. And if you are not getting enough sleep, if you're constantly being sleep deprived, well, your ghrelin goes through the roof, and more ghrelin and less leptin in your body, you're going to be gaining weight. Well, what happens when you have too much ghrelin in your body? It's, first of all, you're going to be reaching out for all sorts of fatty, greasy, fried foods that are not necessarily the best for you. Very high carbs. You're gonna drink maybe more stimulants, more sugary drinks, more soda, all that kind of stuff. And not only that you're reaching for all this already not healthy foods, your body gonna tend to store it more as fat. Yeah. So, and if you are already sleep deprived, of course, you're not going to have enough energy to go to the gym and work those extra calories out of your body. So, well, here we are. That nice bikini body that you always wanted and show off this summer might have to happen next summer, unless you adjust what you're doing on a daily basis.
Yeah, I mean, that's really a great point, because you know, you wake up and you're tired, you didn't get enough sleep, and then it's kind of like, you know, it's too much hassle to do quality food. Right. And maybe I'm not going to cook. Let's just go out, let's grab something to eat. I know I'm tired.
I need to drive through.
Yeah, and then like you say, your hormones go out of whack, and then what you're going to be choosing, even at those restaurants or the fast food places, is not going to be quality food. You know, it's hard enough to find quality food in restaurants these days as it is. It just becomes this other thing. Now, what about temperature? I know there's a lot of time, you know, people talk about there's a, you know, temperature.
He likes the room to actually almost get mist and be that cold.
And that's where you want it to be.
Possibly breathe.
Yeah, I'm from Minnesota, so I'm used to, like, I want it to be around 60.
Damn, that is cold. Sorry.
No, maybe not quite that cold.
I don't allow that.
No, I think I set it at about 73.
Yeah, you want a cool room.
No,
a cool room actually helps you get to sleep faster. So
and staying asleep as well, just because, I mean, your body starts doing its work really when you're sleeping, and then around like 3-4 o'clock, when all these processes turn on, you're gonna raise your body temperature as well. So then you're gonna start sweating and tossing and turning throughout the night. So yes, definitely make sure that the bedroom temperature at least probably 3-4 degrees lower than, let's say, the rest of your home or apartment,
I think
or whatever.
It's around. You want to keep it around 70.
I think it's 68, 67, 68.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be, you don't want to be falling asleep, shivering and,
No,
that's me.
I like that because I have my big quilt on, and one of the things that I noticed in when I had my private practice, I would have clients come in and I would ask them, how long does it take you to fall asleep at night? How many hours do you sleep? And it was just one of my routine questions, but I was shocked at how many times we would have health professionals, nurses, doctors, nutritionists come in and say, you know what, it's not just myself. I might sleep 2 to 3 hours a night. My daughter, she wakes up at about 2:30. We're up, we're watching television. I do my work on my computer, and I'm like, are you kidding me? We need to do something about this. So let's talk now, maybe about 5 tips or so that you could give us that people could incorporate in their lives right now to help to improve their sleep.
Yeah. Well, so stress reduction, like we said, is a major player. And I want people to keep in mind what happens throughout the day. So a lot of this comes down to brain waves, and our states are related to our brain waves. So when we're super active and focused and trying to get stuff done, we're in beta, right? If we're relaxed and creative and working and we're in this state called flow, we're in alpha. And as we fall asleep and start winding down, we start to get into those theta and those lower brain waves. And then delta is where deep restorative sleep happens. So throughout the day, you know, we're in delta sleeping, and then we get pulled out of delta into instant beta when the alarm goes off. By the way, don't hit snooze. Do not hit snooze.
Just snooze.
Yeah.
It's dangerous, because what happens is there's certain chemicals that get released to wake you up. And then when we hit snooze, those chemicals that put you back to sleep come in, and then it starts this like cocktail of chemicals going through your body, and then when it's time to get up, you really feel like shit.
Yeah.
You want to get up, you're groggy. So back to that example, so you get up, you're in beta, you know, you're rushing to get to work, you're getting ready, you're stressed out, things need to get done, you're in traffic, you get to work, there's deadlines, you're in beta. We really want to be in alpha all day, because when we're in alpha, we're relaxed. Those chemicals throughout our body are supporting our brain states, our weight loss, all these things that support us. And beta is more fight or flight. So we're in the stress mode. We want to stay away from that. So we want to be in alpha, but we're in beta. So it's important to pay attention where we are throughout the day, and try to stay in that relaxed state. So then from work, we, you know, again, traffic, whatever, get home, and then you start to wind down, and then you turn the TV on, and commercials come on, and those commercials are designed to pull you out of relaxation and into focus. So now we're back into beta because we need to buy some stuff.
Oh. Can't win. You just can't.
Not only that, but we're bombarded by the blue light, which tells your brain it's the light out, right? In the office, you don't know where the sun is. It could be up, could be down. You don't know. You know, it could be 8 o'clock. You're still working, but your brain still thinks it's daytime. So again, you're falling out of that circadian rhythm of natural process. So it's important to really, at the end of the day, start winding down and turn that TV off, turn the laptops off. If you have a laptop, there's a really cool program, or a desktop. It's called Flux, F-L-U-X, that gets rid of that blue light. So if you're going to be working later, and it actually knows when the sun's setting. As the sun's setting, it'll start removing that blue light from your screen. So that's a cool thing.
Well, you wanna make sure, you know, you have to create a ritual, really. Like, if, you know, okay, if you go into sleep, let's say 10:30, right? Okay, give yourself half an hour. It's not much to ask. 10 o'clock, you turn off TVs, do all that, you go brush your teeth, you change. Maybe you want to listen to, you know, a lot of people right now, with all our crazy lifestyle and all the stuff that we need to do on a daily basis, your brain really has a hard time being quiet. So maybe you want to introduce a meditation, or maybe binaural beats. There's a ton of different tools and programs, and we recommend many of them as well inside our program of what to do. And it's only half an hour, but it sets your body, your mind, everything into this, you know, the right mode that you want to be in, so you can just drift away to sleep. You don't have to toss and turn. You don't have to wake up throughout the night. And the more you do it, the less you need it. And you will notice the difference. You will not want to change that ritual after that, because it literally will change how you feel throughout the day. It matters what you're doing at night. That's how you're going to feel during the day. So.
Yeah. Another thing to do immediately is check when you're taking those stimulants. Yep. A lot of people take, you know, caffeine, coffee, Red Bull, whatever it is. Make sure that's done in early afternoon, because if you're still wound up at night, it's going to be really hard to sleep, obviously. So stimulants, also alcohol at night. If you're drinking, you will get to sleep faster, but when it gets time for that deep restorative part of sleep, it's going to throw it off completely.
Yep.
So,
and then also food. You know, you do not want to go to sleep with a full stomach. So you want to make sure you eat about 3 to 4 hours before going to bed, so that way your body doesn't have to work overtime trying to process all that food, and hopefully it's at least good food. But try to stay away, you know, eating before going to bed.
Yeah, and there's a ton of herbs and other things that we recommend in the program that you can take to facilitate and help getting into that you know, relaxed state and drifting off into that deep sleep that we want.
Do you like any of those sleep monitors and stuff like that? I know there's a lot of, biohacking type sleeping tools out there now. Or do you just like in the sleep program just recommend for people to be in tune with what they're doing and following your protocol, they'll naturally get better sleep?
Well, you'll naturally will, but I think we're entering an age of quantifying. And there's tech out there that can actually help you understand how well you're sleeping. So I have this Basis watch, and I mean, it has really cool metrics on it. Perspiration, body temperature, and all that's cute. It doesn't really tell me a lot. What it does tell me that I really use is sleep. So it knows when I'm in REM, it knows when I'm in deep, it tells me how many times I've tossed and turned, and it gives me a sleep score. So that's something that I can really, I could pull up a screen and be like, okay, well, I did this yesterday and I slept like this. I'm going to do more of that if it's, if I've gotten really good sleep. Or, well, I slept like shit yesterday. Maybe, what was I doing? Okay, I had a glass of wine and I drank some coffee at 6 o'clock and I didn't exercise. Aha, okay, that's what it was. So you can really start to understand your own personal physiology and how it reacts to things.
And adjust accordingly. I mean, we're all different. We don't believe in one size fits all. That's why, like, even in a program, we've interviewed 7 different experts from different modalities of what they teach, and just because there's really no one size fits all. Period. Mm. You gotta figure it out what works right for your body. Introduce few things, see how you feel, maybe cycle off, then do. I mean, it's all individual. So
I'd highly recommend tracking, because without tracking, you don't know. I mean, you kind of know based on how you feel, but it's really good to really dial in. Like, okay, I got 2 hours of deep sleep, 2 hours of REM sleep. I tossed and turned 20 times. Let's see if I could get that deeper tomorrow. It's almost like a game. It's fun.
Sure. We all like those number games. So your program is different than everyone because you do go at it from a lot of different angles, like you were saying. So explain a little bit more about the program and what our people can do to get started right now at improving their sleep.
Sure. Well, we went at it from the point of view of looking at different modalities and how they saw sleep as a whole, how they saw the problem of sleep, and then how they saw the solution. So we got a bunch of experts from Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic, naturopathic, science, cognition, put them together and asked them the question of why is sleep important
from their
point
angle,
of view. Yeah. What happens, and how do we get that deep restorative sleep from their modality? And what we put together is nothing short of amazing. It's a combination of this cumulative knowledge, and with that, there's truth, there's deep truth, and we've distilled a lot of that information into easy methods for people to really get going quickly.
Yeah, and we recommend a ton of also like different tools, different supplements that you can utilize, again, from all these experts from different areas, because, sometimes people are like, well, I went to my doctor put me on Ambien, and that just doesn't help me, and whatever, I don't want to listen to MD. But I don't have access to, let's say, Chinese medicine or doctor or Ayurvedic doctor or anything else. Well, our program allows you to have a look at all of their points of view and see what you resonate most with. Because sometimes, you never even heard that information, but you're like, oh my God, it makes so much sense. Why won't I try it? Mm. So that's kind of was our approach to the program.
Yeah, and we created a sleep quiz that people can take and get a sleep score, and then you'll know how well you're sleeping. So I'd like to invite people to take that. It's free.
I'll put a link down below, and it's so important to know where you're starting, because if you don't know where you're starting or where your initial sleep score is, like, you might not even know you have an issue. I mean, I literally will get phone calls from people that are like, yeah, I get up in the middle of the night, and I just had to go to the bathroom, but then it takes me like another hour to go to bed. Sometimes I grab my book. And I'm like, no, this is just not good sleep. So we really urge you guys to go and take that sleep score test, the quiz that they're going to offer for you guys, because I think that's the best place to start, is just by finding out if you even have an issue to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, if you're listening right now, or you're watching right now, and this is striking a chord with you, if what Larry and Oksana are saying to you you start to think to yourself, well, I don't have great sleep. I'm not falling asleep right away. I mean, I'll tell you, Mira and I, we go to bed at night, and we literally put our heads on the pillow. I say good night, Mira says good, and then snooze off, and she's done. I'm behind her 2 seconds later, and we don't wake up again until the morning. And that's the way you want to be. So, you know, if you're out there and you're listening to us and you're taking our advice and you're learning about the micronutrients and you're learning about food quality and you want to take that one extra step and you want to get the better sleep. And let's talk, you know, again, you've been listening to why that is. What are you going to get? You're going to get a better immune system. You're going to have less stress. You're going to have weight loss benefits. You're going to have performance benefits, both in work and in your physical body.
Look and feel better.
You're going to feel better. So, you know, get your sleep score. That's right there. The link's right below. You're going to press it. You're going to be able to go. You're going to answer a few questions, and you're going to get a sleep score. And then from there, you're going to be able to know what you're going to need to do in order to improve your sleep. I can't really thank you guys enough for coming on and talking about this important issue.
We love sleep.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's just fantastic work that you've done, and I can't urge everybody enough watching and listening right now to go and do that.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for having us. And you know, the bottom line is, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care whether it's you're eating the best food, exercising twice a day, whatever it is. If you're not sleeping well, it's all for naught. It's a waste. You really need to get that foundation of good sleep before anything else. And once you have that, the rest of it will work a lot better. So.
That's fantastic. Again, thank you guys for coming on. Everybody watching and listening right now, Sleep Well Solution, and then the link is right below. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you again here on In Depth. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.